Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? God damn it. Happy Friday Eve and lucky Thursdays. It's my lucky Thursday. It's all Thursday's my lucky day. That's why I do the Cheef and Go each and every Thursday at 8. Keeping it cranking for the culture. Let's clap it up one time. Let's let's clap it up off the break. You know what I mean? Can y'all hear my claps? Let's clap it up one more again. You know what I'm saying? Say amen. He woke you up again. You got another day to breathe and walk and use 10 fingers and 10 toes or whatever you got. And, whatever you got, he gave you a chance to flex it for one more day. Another chance to get it right. You know what I'm talking about? Another chance to be better than you was yesterday. It's the Cheef and Go. Welcome to another episode, another installment of the Cheef and Go. Um, what's today? We got Valentine's Day coming up. It's the 12th. This is that 1/12/26, right? Cheef and Go. Special guest coming soon. Got my good man Doc Robinson from that Black Passion experience, that Black Passion band. You know what I'm talking about? Bet on Black coming in the building in just a hot second. But how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? What's going on? What's going on in the world? I'm back, god damn it. Hey, I am back. Let me see who in the comments. What's going on? What's going on? Happy Friday, Glow Spot One. Oh, okay. I'm clear. I'm coming through clear. Well, I'm your host, Chief, Lord Chief, Chief Rocker, Chief Dog, Chief Dizzle for Shizzle for Sheezy for Show. Chief Keep It Brief, Rockadamus, Rockaware, the cheat code, Mr. All the Above, Mr. DIY himself. Mr. Racker Hats, right? Trying to get it done for the culture. And I always found that, hey, look, if I can't find somebody to do it, if I can't afford to pay somebody, I'm gonna do it my damn self. So that's me in a nutshell. Appreciate everybody coming through. Eric Stevens in the building. What's up, brother? All right, hit me tomorrow. My man Eric out the Natty. Shout out to that them shit Madness stars. You know what I'm talking about? From back in the day. Um, got some news today that I have a new sponsor, Cheef and Go, new sponsor for Cheef and Go and the Lux Radio family. A new sponsor, y'all. Clap it up for that. Clap it up for that. New sponsor. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't nothing like some help, right? And it go hand in hand. You help me, I'm gonna help you, and we gonna get this thing going. Capital City Mumbo Sauce, new official sponsor of the Cheef and Go. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we doing it for the culture, right? So when we talking about go-go, Mumbo Sauce is not far away, right? We talking about the district, we talking about the DMV, DC, the nation's cap, right? The home of Mumbo Sauce, the actual sauce, and the band. Shout out to Mumbo Sauce, the band, my man Pep, Malachi, Black Boo, and all the crew, right? So yes, Mumbo Sauce is an official sponsor of the Cheef and Go right now. Make sure y'all go to capitalcity.com and sign up and get 10% off on your first order right now. You understand? And show them some love, man. I'm gonna have some giveaway. I'm gonna do some giveaways pretty soon. I'm gonna be giving away some Mumbo Sauce, so y'all stay tuned for that and just lock in. And you can also get them at your grocery store. You can get the Mumbo Sauce. You can get that Capital City, which is the best thing going at all your grocery stores, I believe, or at least most of them. I got to check on that, but just heard that news today, and I'm very excited about that. Shout out to Capital City. Like I said, capitalcity.com. You can go on there and order. You can order directly from the website. Let me see if I can get y'all a little right here from the website. right? Oh, where'd it go? There I go. There I go. I thought I shared the joint. Oh, Google was accessing your screen. Well, come on, goddamn it. What? Sharing to this tab. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's right there, y'all. Like I said, Capital City Mumbo Sauce. I mean, capitalcity.com, right? You just go right there. And when you first go, it'll give you a little pop up where you could sign up and get that 10% off. And you see they got the merch. Oh, they go to stores they in. Giant, Shoppers, Wegmans, Cisco, Baltimore. Papa John's got it. They probably got that Capital City Mumbo Pizza. Okay, Food Line, Safeway, Walmart, Amazon. You can get it on Amazon, ShopRite, Harris Teeter, Price Right, Wise, the Marriott got it. U.S. Foods, Target, H Mart, Giant, any and everywhere. They any and everywhere. You understand? Make sure y'all go support that new sponsor from the Cheef and Go for the Cheef and Go. So that's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm talking about? We doing it for the culture. What's up, cuz? Salute to you. Thank you for coming through. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. They got the mild. They got the mild and they got the sweet hot. You know what I'm talking about? I think that's the two flavors they rocking right now. So shout out to them. And definitely shout out to the good Universal Madness. You know what I'm talking about? Ow. This nice little jump right here where they got you got the little zippers on the side in case you want. You know what I'm saying? You doing something down low and you need the or whatever. So I got my pants on today too, y'all. I got my madness joints on. Y'all can't even see all that. My reflective joints, it ain't reflective. It ain't reflecting right now, but you know what I'm saying? All I know is my MCs. We're gonna definitely give a shout out to the Madness Shop, another sponsor of the Cheef and Go. Shout out to them. Y'all definitely need to go out there and and get with that because they gonna get you right. You know what I'm talking about? 3641 Leonardtown Road. And then the pop-up shops, I think on Thursdays over there by right there in front of Stadium Armory Station. I forget the address of that right now, but follow them on Instagram and TikTok, and you can find out where all that's when all that's going on. About to get that website going very shortly, real soon, real soon. So yeah. So let's get this thing started, y'all. Let's get this thing started. Shout out to everybody coming through. Black Butterfly. What's up, Mel B? What's up, Mel B? We gonna bring my man Doc from that Black Passion up in here for in this Black History Month, right? It's only right that we bring Doc in for Black History Month. What's up, Garland? Shout out to Just One Persevere Band on Instagram. J.A.B Entertainment in the building. Appreciate it all. Appreciate all the love, all the attendance. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna do a roll call segment in a minute. We're gonna play a go-go loop, play a beat and do some roll call. That would be fun, right? Working on some different segments and everything. But we here tonight. God is good. And I got my man, Doc Robinson, Black Passion in the building. Where you at, Doc? You ready, baby? Yes, indeed. There you go.
Let's get to it.
Good man right there.
What's happening, man?
Hey, man. Look, everything's everything. I'm just glad to be here moving and shaking for another day.
Yeah. Definitely me too, man. Happy to
How
be
you
here.
how
Very
you
happy to
doing?
be here.
Exactly. Hey, you better be grateful.
Yeah, always
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah. That's the key to it all, right? Gratitude is the attitude. If you ain't grateful for what you got, you ain't gonna get nothing else, right?
You're right. You're right.
Absolutely. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. The new year's here. I'm feeling good. This weather, hopefully, is about to start cooperating so we can get back to the crank. But I'm good, man. I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm beyond blessed.
Absolutely. Content, right?
Beyond, I'm not even content anymore. The content is over with. Like I'm motivated. So, like I got a different pep in my step. right now,
Mm,
and I'm really excited about some of the things that I'm about to embark on.
that's the best. That's the best
Yeah,
feeling, right? Like so, the pursuit of happiness, right? You,
yeah,
you get, and happiness is a moment, right? It's a fleeting feeling, right? Yeah. So I can be happy, and then I gotta do all this, and then to be happy for a moment. And so that's what I like to say, content, because it's just like I'm grateful, right?
yeah,
But when you motivated, that trumps all that because now I'm inspired. I have energy because energy comes from motivation. Energy comes from focus. When you have a project or when you have a goal in front of you, you'll stay up all night. You know what I'm saying? You
hmm,
really go at that. That it creates energy because you have a certain goal. I mean, I ain't talking about we just wrote down goals. I'm gonna do this in 2 years and 5 years. I'm talking about when you really have a goal and it's burning in your soul, that creates that energy that's really, that spark that's the best thing in the world. So I know that feeling that you're talking about, and that's a beautiful thing.
yeah, yeah.
That's a beautiful. And you hit me last night. You said, I'm ready. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I've
Oh,
been tuning in, man. I've been tuning in, and I was like, I kept on saying I'm gonna hit Chiefy up and see what's up. And then I was like, I keep on saying I'm gonna do it. That's why I just said I'm like, hey, what's
yeah,
up? And he was like, bet tomorrow, and
yeah,
here we are.
yeah. Bet on black. Lady
Yes, yes,
D. Well, I know I've been following y'all since swag, kind of that's when I found out, got introduced to y'all. And we started some recording and stuff like that. But I see y'all popping up, and it seems kind of like you pick and choose your situations, which I think is definitely um important, right?
yeah, yeah,
And then choosing, not oversaturating, and just finding the best situation for your band. So I've been watching. I pulled up some clips just to be familiar. Try to become updated or
yeah,
speed of what's going on. But let's start like I always do. What what was your spark? Right. Let's get people into the man of Doc and the musician, and where it started for you. As far as the spark for music or playing music or wanting to talk, or what I'm saying, what
yeah.
ignited that for you?
I mean, growing up in the area, I was born in DC, raised in Maryland. Go-go's always been a part of the soundtrack of our life. That's what you came up listening to. These kids, they come up and they 21 Savage and NBA Young Boy art. We was chasing tapes, cassette tapes of the bands that we weren't even old enough to go see. So it's always been there. But by the time I got to high school, it was like I should try this on a different scale. But what deterred me in high school was I wasn't with all that beefing with different neighborhoods because I was good in all the neighborhoods that was around. All them neighborhoods that I grew up with, those were all my good men. And I ain't
Mhm.
like when they were beefing with each other.
Right.
And it's good now because we all grown and old. I be seeing them guys out now and they have a drink together or they,
They
coaching
over it.
together. It's
Right.
over it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But like I said, by the time I end of high school, like towards college, um, it was like we should try something, and it started with me just being the guinea pig of the crew, getting on with bands, getting on with UCB, getting on with Backyard. That's where it really started and it took off because once I realized like, man, this is something I really enjoy doing, it was time to figure out how to put a game plan together to really make it do what it needs to do.
Mm.
Because, being a feature, that's cool. But it was like, I need the business side of it. I want to do the business. I want to actually do this. So jumped out there and, here we are 20 years later because the band officially got started in 2005. Um, and yeah, like I said, Black Passion, the brand alone has been around for 20 years. And I've been performing 20 years straight. Even when we took breaks, I never really took a break. I went on and ended up performing with other bands. start different projects and so on and so forth. But I've never stopped. So it's been 20 straight for me. And like I said, now it's just like you said, you've been watching, and I hope everybody else has been watching too. Because I really feel as though we should all have some checks and balances when it comes to our time, our energy, and what we're doing when it's time to perform. Oversaturating it, playing 50 times a week, and if you're not getting paid, it's
Right.
crazy. It's
Especially.
crazy work. There's bands that are actually getting, broke off. And shout out to the ones that are actually turning over a respectable income for themselves and their bandmates. But it's a lot of other bands that are still doing smoke and mirrors. And I'm 44, and I always take the numbers and twist them like this. Rapper, he's 71, I'm 81. So you do 10, rapper is 51. I mean 54. I'm
Mm-hmm.
44.
Okay.
Lil Chris is a Libra. He's 10 years younger than me. We too old to be just out here just doing anything. So being selective and being creative where you want your band to perform, where you want your fans, your family to come and support you, that means a lot now. It means a lot. You know, just going out and playing and playing and playing. And, we've been doing that, like I said, 20 years now.
Yeah.
And the accomplishments that I'm chasing now are the things that I should have been doing in the beginning. So I'm going in reverse. You have a legacy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
you have a legacy. That's what I'm chasing now. So the difference in not seeing Black Passion on a million flyers isn't because we not getting booked or I'm being very selective. I'm gonna be out the house. I'm gonna have any of my band members out the house. It's not gonna be in vain. Everybody gonna get their money. They're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be a place that they can bring their wife to. They can
Mm,
bring their co-workers. We're
mm,
gonna do it the right way. But like I said, the behind the scenes that people aren't seeing is I'm chasing a different thing now. And then what I'm chasing now is legacy.
absolutely.
What is somebody gonna be able to pull up 25 years from now and say, what did Black Passion do? We played a bunch of fly shows. That was cool. We done been here, we done been there. Legacy. That's what I'm chasing.
Right. And
Yeah.
that takes intentionality. Is that a
Yeah.
word? Intentional, right? Like you said. And that's important. Like you said, to a place that because we 40s.
Yeah. Yeah.
40, you might got the 39-year-old, right? And 50s. Bass players and guitar. If you got talented musicians in the DMV, a lot of times we in that age range. So yeah, I need you. Yeah, you can become, you can bring mama. And you know what I'm saying? And it's comfortable. That's important, right? To having your band comfortable to make sure they compensate it. Because we too
Mm-hmm.
old. Yeah, we did that when we was young, right? And some of that we didn't have to do with certain management or stuff that was in place. I mean, initially you're gonna do some free shows, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We know that, but sometimes that gets dragged way too long, and then you get to a point where it's like you press the play. You can't be pressed to be out in front of people, and I'm gonna be pressed to open up for this band, because it's like just so we can play, because you're not, especially if you don't have intention, if you don't have a plan in place, like, all right, we're gonna do this for these many months, and we're gonna pull, because people say we're gonna play with this band, we're gonna open up and we're gonna pull their crowd. No, you're
No,
not in go, because this is
it's never gonna work.
they love
It's never
junkyard.
gonna. It's never
Yeah,
gonna work.
they might catch you and nod their head to you, but they not
Yeah.
looking you up. But what's making you stand out, if that is, what you're doing for a moment. But and a lot of people don't understand that. Like I said, and because they press the play, they don't understand the legacy side of it. They don't understand what it takes to build. So, but like I've definitely noticed that with you, and I said, yeah,
Yeah.
he's very intentional in that aspect. So, where was I gonna go? So Black Passion, then so lead talking was always your thing. Do you play anything else?
Now, lead
That's
talking
little
wasn't
combos like
my
everybody.
thing. Lead talking wasn't my thing. It was just being the front. And then, you know, I was more like wanting to be the singer. And then the lead mic thing kind of came into play, like I said, when I was featuring heavy. And I was
That's what I'm saying.
featuring
So
heavy.
when you get guinea pig, you
Yeah.
was going up to sing joints.
No, I was going up when I was going up featuring. That's when I was getting my role on. You know what I'm saying? Like I had my little spots and segments, and like with back, I used to get on 96 all the time. And but when I would get up there on 96, I was rattling off hooks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
But I
okay.
wasn't singing. When
Yeah.
I try my little thing in high school, it was on some singing type of deal. But like I said, by the time like I actually took it super serious, it wasn't on the singing, which is kind of crazy now going and fast forward into now. Like I do a lot more singing with my band than I ever did. You know.
Absolutely. So I pulled up a lot of these gigs live at Tempo,
Uh-huh.
which are doing like the R&B,
Yeah.
more R&B set, more unplugged. You're sitting down when you come up, and and Mama doing the songs. I don't know her name.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I just heard you sing. I said, oh, I didn't know he sang. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
It was
But
one of them little hidden talents that, like I said,
mhm.
I know my notes. I know where I'm supposed to go. I know where I ain't supposed to go.
Right,
Um, like I always tell people, like I could probably be the best vocal reference track guy you ever,
right.
because you put me in the studio, and if I hear something, I'm going to be able to express that to somebody that can sing. But I can sing. I can hold a note. I can keep it. I
Yeah,
can give you
yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah. He was doing pretty good. My bad. I wasn't looking at the comments, y'all. Let's get Eric Stevens say speak on it, bruh.
Yeah.
Yep, Sharonda McMichael. I like what she does.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
that's my homie right there.
yes, indeed.
It's Ronnie.
Black person in the building.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, and it's in there.
103.
God
Tap.
damn. Ty say, I'm the goddamn CEO. You know, that's our old swag inside joke. I don't know if you ever heard the joke. But shout out to everybody, man. I like to, I got to give all our people some love for tuning in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they giving you love. And that's the whole
Much
trade-off.
love to
Right? That's,
everybody, man.
that's what we do, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
an energy exchange of love and energy.
yeah.
Yeah, Doc. Yeah, I've heard that. Just say okay. So, yeah. So, all right. I was gonna ask when y'all started. Okay, 2005. Um, okay. So, just to if let's say we just talked about being intentional and
Uh-huh.
certain things you're doing, um, and how you approaching things now. But if you started Black Passion today with the knowledge you know now, would you do anything differently, and what would you do differently from the gate?
I would have definitely from the gate taken recording a lot more serious than we did. We like I said, when we got involved into the whole live performance thing in '05, we took off so fast that we didn't have direction, we didn't have management, we didn't have, just a lot of
Infrastructure, right? Yeah,
foundational type
yeah.
things that, like I used to say a lot. you know I remember like our rival at the time when we first got it was Fatal Attraction, and I used to be uh so jealous of the fact that they had Preston and Cato, because I was like, damn, I wish we had somebody to manage
Wow.
us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like it was small things that were being done, even with like watching CCB, because we started when I remember Marcus Snuggs used to open the studio for us to rehearse, and they had a manager. You know what I'm saying? And I used to always be thinking about that part, like, damn, like I wish we had a manager, because we had the talent. It was raw talent.
Yeah.
We just didn't know what the hell we were doing with it, what we could do with it. You
You
know?
don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. That's why I take a manager or producer or like these type of people that have done it to kind of say this. And it be some of the stuff be so simple. You just like, I never thought about it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
We didn't think about that because we just,
yeah,
we
yeah,
just young as going at it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I had to start it over, that would be the main focus, because we had a lot of creativity in the beginning. We had a lot of creative people that were, in the band, affiliated with the band. if we had taken some of that money that we used to be popping bottles and pouring it out on the floor and all that,
Yeah.
if we slowed down and said, all right, let's go to the studio this day that we off more,
Right.
I think the trajectory of where we at now would be a lot different.
Right.
You know, not saying that we aren't good now, because right now
Mhm.
we definitely in a good space where anybody that's performing with the band, this is like a job. You know what I'm saying? You clocking in, but it's a job that you have fun at, and you're doing something that you love. But you're gonna be able to pay some bills messing around with me. You know, and that's a blessing because a lot of people can't say that. You know, so I'm definitely happy about that. But I do know that there's more that could be done or could have been done
Mhm.
in retrospect. You know?
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
that's what a boss is, right?
yeah,
Boss makes people money. You can
yeah,
be a boss of yourself, but a real boss brings people into projects and
yeah,
they get paid, right? And that's what, and they're happy about that. Like with companies, like when you got a company that lets you buy stock in that company,
uh-huh,
and you know what I'm saying, like that's important because you want your employees or people that's coming to work for you for your dream, that's building your dream to be compensated, and that's going to keep them happy. But a
yeah.
lot of company structures don't work like that, so that's very important. That's a great point, I think. And like we don't know each other that well, but we've talked, and it's a certain way you carry yourself and a certain energy, like Coop say, great man. That
What's up, Coop?
I definitely feel that's authentic and real. Yeah, and that's another great man. They doing great things too. So yeah, definitely shout out to Coop. But
I learned a lot from him. Being around that backyard scene, I greatly attribute all of my success
no.
in music when it was following watching two people. I was watching Butler with Raw Image. A lot of people don't know I used to be with them, and I was with them on a different level of what everybody probably expects of me. Um, my cousin Cowboy Delvin, he was the keyboard player, and I used to hang with him to the point where Butler was like, "Man, you come out all the time. Why don't you be our security?" And I'm like, "Security?" He was like, "Yeah, be the security." I'm like, "All right," but I was just partying with my cousin because he had a band. But during that time that I was around them, I paid
Exactly.
attention to Butler a lot, and of course, since I got off the porch, I was always backyard. That was where we was at. Uh, we show love to UCB, all the uptown bands, but Backyard was really the one. But my relationship with Coop was like, that's like your older brother. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I watched him so much that by the time it was for me to take over, to just being, man, stop crying about not having a manager, just do the management and do your other job of being a lead mic. It was not easy, but I did have a blueprint foundation of two powerful brothers that I watched, meticulously, like to say, okay, all right, maybe we should try this, maybe we shouldn't do this, down to once we, got to a certain point, it was like, all right, guys, maybe we shouldn't drink on stage, maybe we shouldn't, it was things like that the typical lead mic may not even think about. But like I said, being around those type of guys like that, especially Coop, it definitely helped mold me into being a powerful force of not just being a lead mic, being an entertainer, but being a businessman.
Yes, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, and I feel like people like Coop, they're not talking down to you. Like you said, you just around, you absorbing, and you're
yeah.
gonna catch the game, and they might drop you some jewels, but they not like you gotta do this. Some people like your parents or certain uncles or peers or not peers, like elders. Sometimes it be the way they talk to you. And I think that's a disconnect with a lot of the youngins now. It's like a preachy soapbox thing instead of just like, yeah, do this, youngin, and this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like your uncle, that cool uncle. So I think that makes sense. But you said one thing, that thing was important. Come be security. Man, I ain't security, this and that, but all right, I'm gonna do it because just being in the atmosphere, you're gonna
Hmm.
learn so much, especially if you're willing to learn, right? Your ears and your eyes is open, you're gonna observe so many things just being in the atmosphere. You know how many security guards for celebrities that became managements or management or executives and started their own companies just by you in the back hearing it. Like you could be somebody driver, you hearing the conversation, so what I'm saying, you just learn it in that aspect. Tupac, roadies, people that I know a lot of people, go and
Yeah,
beyond that man, I
yeah.
set up the equipment. So now I'm just around. So I'm in there 2 hours before the show and two
Hmm.
hours after the show. So I'm seeing even how the money exchange or when the problems arise, or even everything from A to Z, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's very important. That's a jewel right there. That's definitely a jewel. My man, Doc Robinson, Black Passion on the Cheef and Go.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Sir.
Good stuff, brother. Good stuff.
Big money.
So, oh yeah, DJ Money, DJ D Money. I'm the goddamn CEO. He know about that. I definitely got the shirts. I got a couple designs. I think I did a shirt and a mouse pad, or no, I did a iPhone case on
Uh-huh.
uh, on my merch site. Always remain true at printful.me. I got to put that website in there. I got a lot going on, but definitely, man, definitely appreciate you coming through. This is a good convo, and I figured it would be. Let's see who on Instagram. Mellow Fellow 53, the Dirty Kitchen Joint. Shout out to y'all. Vix Lifts, Charles 3481, Mandel 3356. That's the good man Poochie in the house. The good drummer Poochie. You know Poochie, right?
Yeah. What's up, fellas? What's up? What's up?
Listen to me, MRD, MN 50, all. I'm just trying to
All the
spread
good
the
man.
love. Absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely. What
sir.
you sipping on right there?
Just a little juice and some ice. That's it.
Oh, that you chilling. You
I'm
chilling.
chilling.
You more of
Just
a smoker, right?
I do both. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I pick and choose my battle. I know it's gonna be a long weekend. It's a holiday weekend and all that. So I'm
Yes, sir.
taking it easy because wifey birthday's tomorrow. Then Saturday we got a show. Um, then Sunday, we going out because we ain't got to work on Monday. So I said I ain't gonna drink nothing until. But I
Hey,
did have a little drink last night. I went hanging out with my manager Wiley. We went up to was it Conversations in Crank. We went to check that out. They had a panel discussion at Marlow Heights Rec, and T.O.B. played.
yeah.
And then we left there and we went down MGM up to Felt, but only drank some champagne. Shout out to Vibe. They was cranking down there too. T.O.B. was cranking as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that. It was at the Marlow Heights, the record.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
good stuff, man. I love all the progress we making, and just the attempts. Then we being intentional with our culture. Um, so that's smart though. But the drinks on stage, yeah, like you said, as youngins coming up, we not thinking about stuff like that. We don't even know, or we don't know. We don't know that that's really unprofessional, really. Like,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
way you gotta find to do it. But just standing up there the whole time, it's really a bad look. Especially when you comparing us and we talking about, well, why we ain't national? We need more originals, this and that. We need not to
Yeah.
have a fucking drink
Yeah.
on stage. Excuse my
Yeah.
French. It's Erica Badu or Michael Jackson or Shaka Khan, they're not gonna do that.
You
And
ain't
and
seen
mind
New
you, they
Edition
got
with
a
it.
concert where them lights gonna go down, when they gonna go
Hmm.
back, so they might. But so
Yeah.
now we're not saying, because a lot of us started as youngins. We weren't supposed to be drinking. We in the Ibex and stuff, right? So,
Uh-huh.
so a lot of these things change when you're looking at it. So it ain't like, yeah, nigga, we practice. Yeah, we could practice for 4 hours a day, twice a week when we was young, but now it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still certain fundamentals that I think that overall as a culture we could we could kind of try to look at, you know what I mean, to make us look better, because there's a lot of cameras phones out, there's a lot of people
Yeah.
recording.
It
So
always.
yeah, that was one of my questions, but first let's get to this out of pocket segment.
Okay.
Trying to format, right? So 8:35 is the out of pocket segment, right? What can you remember? I mean, however, something dealing with the culture, whether it be dealing with a promoter or something that happened with a band or something that other people doing, something that's in the culture. Well, we just said holding a drink on stage, just something that's just you see it and it just irk you. It's out of pocket. Everything, man, that's just out of pocket. You
Out of
have
pocket. And I may strike a nerve, but I hope the person is watching because it's funny. Um, I just had a conversation with somebody and they was like, "Why aren't y'all playing X, Y, and Z?" And I was like, I don't know. So I put our manager on it. I said, "Man, go see what's going on with that venue. See what's blah blah blah." And so he went out there and immediately he was like, "Yeah, I don't think y'all gonna be able to play out there." And he told me who was in charge, and he was like, "Well, what's the issue with, I didn't like the way he, looked when I said, and what was out of pocket was, and this is something that is still going on now with regards to bands and bookings and being smart with what you are letting anybody talk for you. Was out of pocket was, I've always done square business once I realized this was a business. And once I realized this was a business and we started having to do taxes and so on and so forth. I remember we was playing consistently in Virginia. We was tearing Virginia up. Um, but the venue that we were playing at, they were legit incorporation, and they sent that 1099, and that 1099 didn't match up to what I know I was depositing every Monday. I was
Mm.
like, this ain't right. And they were like, "What do you mean? Well, this is what we've been paying you.
No, don't fuck shit up.
How you paying me this?
Wow.
How was you paying me this?" And they was like, "Well, this is what we uh were paying you." And that's where, like I said, the out of pocket came was that person was already getting paid from the club a salary, but
Mm.
then they were skimming on top of the bands that were bringing in, and we don't know. We don't ever have, but now, like I said, that was like 10 years ago. So now it's fast forward. I'm intentional with making sure that I know all the information that need to be known, because at the end of the day, somebody's not going to send me a 1099 at the end of the year for a number that I have to be accountable for if I didn't earn that. So that's one of the main out of pocket things that I can attest to and speak on, because it's been something that um, is really troubling. It's really really troubling to me, and that's why I tip my hat to people like Rapper. Uh, his method that he's doing right now is changing the way go-go is just moving. Period. But he's eliminating all of the BS that can happen when you let somebody be a spokesperson for what you deserve. So
Mm.
that's why, like I said, to all the bands that's out there, at the end of the day, you can have your opinion about me, Black Passion, whatever. I want y'all to do one thing and one thing only: do your business right. Be intentional about being in your band's business. If this is what you really, really want to do, you value your person that's next to you on your left, your right, that's behind you kicking them drums, that person on the congos, your cowbell player, whatever, whoever, everybody affiliated. Make sure that the business is being handled correctly, because if not, one day you're gonna get a 1099 and you can be like,
That's off.
what?
That is
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's good. That's good insight that, that, like I said, some people don't even know what they don't know. If you haven't experienced it, it's just like that's a problem that you never even know, but that's good information for the
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah.
Chris Phelps in the building.
Oh, that's my bass guitar. What's up, Chris?
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Shout out, Chris. Appreciate you, goddamn. Sean in the building. I'm the goddamn
Hey,
CEO.
the good man, Sean.
So swag. Yes, indeed. Ty in here. Yeah. See, that's our joke. I'm the
Okay.
goddamn CEO. Y'all got to go back to a couple Cheef and Goes. I'm gonna tell a story again though in the full. I think I told it when Shell was on here. When Michelle was on here, she said, "You got to tell me the story," but I'm gonna tell it on one of my solo Cheef and Goes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just a little some funny shit. Chris say business always been on point. That's what you want. That's how you get people to be loyal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we grown. Like ain't nobody got time to be playing around at this moment. Okay.
And that's why I always say this: I never write a check that I can't cash. So
Hey.
I don't care if somebody filling
Bullshit.
in,
We
because
know.
you can look at the fillings. I've had some of the fillings that people be like, "How the hell you got him?" I square business. Hey, look, this is what I got, and it's always gonna be there. I don't play with nobody's time. I don't play with nobody's money because I don't want nobody to ever put me in that position where I got to fly off the hook about my
Right,
time, my money.
right, right. Don't
I
put
never
me.
do that to anybody.
Yeah, real man time, right?
Yeah,
That's
you gotta be.
absolutely, absolutely. Dawg, I don't play that. If the bit right, because good musicians that's grown, that get it, that understand their worth and what their value is. Like you saying, you understand the value of your band, yourself. You know, as a man, as a businessman, and that's what we got to do to not be playing for free at 43 years old and 45, like free or even like just a price that's not worth it, because we anxious or we thinking that all right, we gonna play and this gonna do this, like you really got to be intentional about this. So that
Hmm.
was one of the things I was gonna ask you about, like what could be different in go-go, but you kind of covered that on a couple different points. So yeah, what y'all doing now? Like, so what's your what you doing now? What's the plan for 2026? Tell people where they can reach you and all that good old stuff, where they can find the band, you know.
What's going on with us right now? We're in the midst of wrapping up the first inaugural reality show, Go-Go reality show.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
we've made it to the final three bands, um, and we plan on taking it all the way home. We're waiting on the instructions for the final taping. That took up a lot of time because once you guys see this, like I said, shout out to the producer and executive producer, both of those guys. I'm not going to say too many names because I don't want people blowing them up about it yet, because it's going to eventually be out there. But it was well thought, it was well planned, but it was also a learning process for both sides.
So can
That's
we
why it's
clap it up
taking
for
so
that?
long.
Come on, we gotta take some moments to just congratulations, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, that's important. Like I said, you taking a different path. Like that's important that we recognize that, because you could just be opening up for so and so or so and so, or just doing the mediocre stuff that kind of really don't, may not take you anywhere. And a lot of us get caught up in that. So that's important, man, that we take time and congratulate and clap it up for that. You know what I'm talking about? Bet on black. Sean say bet on black,
yes,
goddamn.
sir. But like I said, with that one, it was one of those things that it was being selective with what we were involving ourselves with. Because I remember when they announced this, it was also an announcement like of a battle. They were doing a battle, which I just seen they about to do another battle coming up soon. But I told the group then, I was like, I don't think that we need to be concentrating on battling. This thing that I'm hearing about, this reality show, that's something different. That's never been done in this area with bands.
Mm.
And like I said, once this thing rolls out, it's going to open the eyes of a lot of people, because you're going to get some behind the scenes of things that you never knew this person could do, never knew that person was able to do this. It's really intricate, and it really pushed the level of like just band showmanship, creativity, style, originality. It pushes those levels to a point where, like I said, we're down to the final three. There's a bounce beat band, they're representing the men, and then there's WAP and his group. They're the other band that is left with us. So it's been extremely diverse, but it's also been it was a lot. But that's what we've been working on. That's what's been kind of keeping us on our toes on a different level. Outside of that, the usual headaches of just running and operating a band because the turnover rate is crazy right now. And at the end of the day, I get it, but I also it's a blessing in disguise always because every time you
Or door
may feel
closed.
like, man, I'm out. Oh man, like what I'm gonna do? Something happens that it's like, damn, I just got even stronger.
Yeah.
So, dealing with that and just being able to keep the nucleus of everybody that has been just rocking with me since I've, been on this run right now. That's been the hardest part, and it's definitely been a blessing because you don't find those type of many people in life,
Mhm.
um, people that are they understand. At the end of the day, I have thick, tough skin because being the boss, you gotta have it.
Better.
You know,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
chastise one person, man, he called horrible shit last night. I got, or anything. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things. I'm dealing with a group of talented musicians that their main thing that I'm happy about, everybody with me is doing good in regular life.
Mm-hmm.
That is key. That
Yes.
is key because yeah,
Fact.
they want to pay a bill with this Black Passion money, but guess what? If Black Passion don't play, they are all right. I'm good in regular life.
Yes,
You know what I'm
that could
saying?
be a hindrance.
Yeah,
That could
yeah,
be problematic if this is the only thing you are depending on. Because now you pressing me to oversaturate, you pressing me to play. So then that could be that's not a part of the
yeah,
plan. Or you're mad, or your attitude. You know what I'm saying? That
yeah,
could cause your emotions to be different, and you come into practice acting away, or you know what I mean.
yeah,
That could create a lot of pressure. So that's
yeah.
very important. Great point, man. Great point.
Nah, I'm definitely, like I said, I'm definitely happy about that. Just being able to have that type of bandmates right now is like I said, we've been through it. I ain't gonna say everything is just peaches and cream. Nah, it's not. It's been a super headache, but it's one of those headaches that's I signed
Work.
up for. I signed up for.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. I hear that 100%, my brother.
But as
Yeah.
far as what else we got going right now, like I said, if you guys check out the website blackpassionband.com, I like to direct all traffic there. Instagram done got hacked. We had a lot of followers. Now it's down to like 7,000 or something. But I don't care about that because at the end of the day, go to the website. That's what we pay
Right.
for. Go to the website, and that website gives you all the information that you need because it shows real feed time on anything on social media is automatically mapped there, and
Right.
then you get to see some historic stuff. Like you get to see when we performed at the Wilson Building. You get to see when we performed, in North Carolina, or when we performed at the Howard a few times. Like you get to see all that type of stuff that you won't see on just going to Instagram or just going to uh, regular, social media pages. Go to the website, blackpassionband.com. What we got going on right now this weekend, they just postponed our Sunday show, but we will be back at V14 in March. But Saturday, we're going to be at, for Love Day, for Valentine's Day, we had Shark Bar. We got a special guest that's going to be sitting in, featuring with us, Miss Keita host. She's going to be on the front line with us. Outside of that, we have 1865 every other Tuesday. We have Temple Lounge next Saturday on the 28th. Happy birthday, Hillary. We're going to celebrate her birthday, the bartender down there. And then outside of that, man, we just moving and shaking, but we're moving and shaking in a way that is very strategic and it's very direct. It's meaningful. Like me being out the house every weekend, like I don't mind it, but like I'm really looking towards like I love to see how Black Alley moves, and
Yeah.
not just because they Black Alley, but less is still more.
Mm.
And where we're chasing now is if we can do some other things that can bring some residual income for everybody. And that's another thing. You talked earlier about stock options. One of the things that I'm about to roll out with my band. That's why if you guys see on the thing, I got DOC BPMG. That is a new entity that I'm about to roll out for 2026. And the DOC, that acronym is for Division of Crank,
Hey.
Black Passion Music Group. Music Group. I'm going to bring the people that are with me right now. I'm going to give them options to be a part of that faction because Black Passion is just me, and that is what it is. It's been that I've but this BPMG thing that we're gonna be running is gonna be a collective of not just Black Passion members, but it's gonna be some producers, writers, other artists. Like I'm thinking about residual income, like the city has to do something big. And like I said, one of the main things I've always done every year is how can I beat myself? Because I pause. But it, I'm talking about because like people be, people will say to me like, "Oh man, y'all did this and y'all did that," and they don't understand that when you get off that stage, who cares? No one cares anymore.
Mm.
That's water under the bridge.
See.
Nobody cares about that. But
Yeah.
if you have something that is a part of a legacy,
Yeah.
where it's not just a legacy where somebody's like, oh, I remember that tape. Nah, they can remember a part of the movie where, oh man, I heard that Black Passion song and it was in that movie or it was on that Netflix series. It was on that. That's where my mind frame is right now. And I know I'm going to do it. I'm guaranteeing I'm going to do it. So
Absolutely.
that's what the focus is. That's the direction. And like I said, with stock options, that's my stock options. And like I said, it's open. It's going to be open season for all creatives because it's time. Um, I've got to
It's
work with Shorty Corleone not too
yeah.
long ago and just soaking up the energy of things that he has going on. And I've been working with Tommy Guns and shout out to him. I'm about to go out to LA, finally go on out to LA to rock, you know what I'm saying, on my lead mic thing. A lot of people don't know I perform with a band that's in North Carolina a lot.
What's the name of that band? I always forget.
Uptown Swagger.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm their lead mic basically. But it's a beautiful thing because I got a lot of family down there. When I go down there, that audience and that vibe down there is how it used to be home.
Yeah.
Nobody's sitting down when that band click sticks.
Mm.
When we get off stage for halftime, people want to take pictures. They want you to sign a CD. They still asking for CDs. They'll take a
I'm here.
picture with me. But I want to do that in LA now. You know,
Yeah.
and then eventually, like I
Far as
said,
you can
if
go.
if things click the way that I want them, and I promise they're going to happen with Black Passion, we're going to be able to move this thing all around these states, across the water, everything. Like I've been telling people, and a lot of people always use that tag, highway this, highway that, and I'm talking about skyway. I'm talking about them crank miles and them flights.
Hey.
Chuck said it. I spent most of my days on the road catching them flights.
Hey, that's what it's about. Willie say
That's
you
what I'm
lying.
talking about, man.
Willie say you lying everything you say, but he love you now. He playing. But nah, shout out Willie, man.
Congratulations to Willie, man. Willie,
Yeah.
I called you to
Yeah.
congratulate you, man, because the way that the Go-Go Awards did my guy, and
Crazy.
a lot of people don't know that, Willie and I, we gonna argue like family because we are family, but he's always been one of the most talented drummers I've ever met. And the way that they did him, not having him nominated was crazy. But you see how God works.
Yeah.
Weeks
Yeah.
later, this man wins a Grammy.
Yeah.
So,
No, you said fatal earlier. And I told him I was at G's up the street from me one night. Just, and my man
Uh-huh.
Eddie B or somebody, the comedian, something happening. No, my man J.A.B was playing
Uh-huh.
with Fatal. And I just remember, you go see bands, and I just remember saying, man, who was there on the drum? This back in the day before.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
Slim, and I remember him from there. And then when his name popped up and he hit that scene again, I said, that's that same nigga. I mean, he was outstanding. I mean, this was years ago. I said, young, whoever on them drums is absolutely phenomenal.
My
So
little
that
brother had me take them to the Neon one time, and this was my first time seeing Fatal. This was before Black Passion had even started. And I was like, I ain't never seen no other bands other than my bands. You know what I'm saying? The Backs and the Junks and the UCBs and RE. Like, so my little brothers was like, nah, we want to go see. I'm like, all right, I took them. And I remember I had to walk to the side of the stage because I was like, who the hell is back there kicking?
right, you gotta go see.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. And I look, but like I said, after that, just bumping into him as I finally got, deep into the music. I definitely promised myself, and I was going to work with him. And I've had a hell of a run with Willie. When what was that, 2020 through 23, 24, something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then people don't know that, when I had Red Carpet Affair, because I was one of the three uh, originators of Red Carpet Affair, was me, Scooter, and Ennis. Ennis was the guy that actually came up with the name Red Carpet Affair. Me and Scooter came up with some wild name that didn't make any sense. And this was real smooth. I think we should call it Red Carpet Affair, and it stuck. And I
Yeah.
was the one that reached out to Willie. I was like, "Look, bro, I want you to come on over." And when he got with us, he was also playing with Vibe at that time, but we took off. It's always every time that Willie comes around, it's definitely one of them type of things that is going to elevate the sound. And yeah. So shout out to him, man.
Yeah, when Willie's the driver, we good.
Yeah,
And a
yeah,
hell of a producer too. Shout
yeah,
out
yeah,
to the man,
yeah.
hell of a producer and a teacher. I watched some of the drum, the teaching joints. I done
Uh,
taught, and I had some, but Willie is a great, just the way, he breaking it down. He had
mm-hmm.
youngers with their hands on their knees first, just tapping. This is very, very good, man. Like I told him, he know I love him. I
Yeah.
went up to the nigga, you are yeah, you doing a lot of great things. So shout out to him. Bud Crawford, what's up, cuz? My man Bud Crawford in the building. That's family.
Okay.
That's Saquon cousin. But yeah, I wanted to do this other segment, right? It's called Back in the Day. Like I
Uh-huh.
said, I get my formats together. And so let's get into Back in the Day. See? Why I ain't do it? See? Wow. I got it. I got it, guys. This is the Back in the Day segment. Oh.
Back in the days when I was
Back in the day when things were cool.
So when we talk about back in the day, we said something earlier. Well, you said something that tricky because I was going to talk about how we used to draw on the signs. Well, not really we. I wasn't. I was in the band.
Yeah, yeah.
Draw on the cardboard, on some paper, whatever you had to do to get your crew on. And look, now I was at a back joint one day, and people was passing their phone up like through
Yeah,
three
yeah.
phones. And I was like, "You feel like you gonna get your phone back?" Well, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But we would do that, write that joint. So and a lot of stuff was outside too in them days, of course, because you could see it. But then we had the hats. People was getting the hats and the shirts made with their crew. So I mean, just like when you look at this how time changes and everything evolves and changes. But like, and Chuck say, I want to see people, not signs. But something you said triggered me. We was talking about the tape era, right?
Uh-huh.
We came up with tapes. You said chasing tapes, right? These dates. And like that's what I'm doing. Instead of naming the Cheef and Go episode 56, I'm gonna name them by the date, like a tape. So this would be 11226. That's that
Yeah.
joint with Doc on it, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
try to use different elements on the Cheef and Go live. But do you remember recording? You had to record certain songs from the radio. Remember making them little
Yeah.
mixtapes when
Yeah.
you had your little
Yeah.
component set and you had
Yeah.
to sit there and wait and try to record the song you wanted and then pause it. And then the next joke you making your little, you know what I'm saying, your little love jump for when you with your little chick. Man, it was just different times. Like when you think about the how accessible music is,
Yeah.
almost too accessible now. Like we said, saturation is so much in your face that you're not even listening to a whole album. If somebody's putting out an album, you just have to go to the store and buy it,
Uh-huh.
get it, take it out the plastic. You reading the credits, and you know what I'm saying. You looking at the artwork, and you sit with it, right, and you
Yeah.
enjoy it. And the first time you might not even fast forward or nothing, you know, because you're going, you listening
Uh-huh.
to it. This is how music was consumed and how a lot of the artists back in those days became iconic and superstars because this process, right? And now it's just like it's just so quick and you microwave, boom, 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 and this one and that one. And I heard a minute of them. I'm gonna scan through. I'm gonna hit the next one with the ads and everything. So I just wanted that was my back in the day moment when we would had to sit and record those those tapes, however it was with
Yeah.
the hip hop mix, however.
Yeah.
And I saw this joint today, Doc, and it was crazy because we think about like I think about the era of the Huggerbucks and Northeast first, right?
Uh-huh.
Before we play, I remember Van Dam coming on the radio. I was working at this little chicken and seafood joint. I'd be mopping the floor, and that joint would come on, and that was like my band. I was kind of going to see him. I'm in 10th or 11th grade, and I just remember how psyched I was. I mean, of course, we know Bustin' Loose and Chuck
Yeah.
and this, but I don't remember the frequency of how those songs was playing on like a 95 or 93.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was that great, but I do remember Rough It Off when Junk was playing at Jaleesa's, right? Because I remember going up there. I remember that hitting the radio. I remember Northeast. Of course, I remember us hitting the radio. Pure
Yeah.
Elegance,
Yeah.
Scenario, a lot of these songs around that time, right? So this was like 95, 96. And so I was watching this joint today that came on Instagram, and it was a bill that Bill Clinton passed in 96. I was trying to look at it real quick because I forget the name of the bill. Telecommunications Act,
Uh-huh.
right? In 96, that allowed that made it where radio could be basically not just local.
Uh-huh.
Now, you know how they got HD now, you could go listen to 96 or our local stations everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a telecommunications act because it said 30 years, and that's when live came out. And I was like, wow, that changed the game because now radio was able to be played everywhere, and it was just so it wasn't just local. So before that, the radio had to kind of cater to the local market because
Uh-huh.
with terrestrial radio, before HD, this is way before HD, but whatever that bill was, it made it where now where they say the program director, they ain't playing, how it is with
Yeah.
Go-Go.
Yeah.
It was a time where Go-Go was in not just the Go-Go mix. Like it was on Saturday morning and kind of
Yeah.
like Scooby joint is now, right? Scooby
Yeah.
getting some rotation. But because they had to cater to that market to stay in business, you know what I'm saying? Because these the people that's actually listening to it. You wasn't on HD and got people all over the world that might have moved from here that's still tuning in to PGC or whatever, and these program directors that can dictate what's played. So that was my little rant. But yeah, and we caught it right before,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's
Mhm.
harder for Black Passion to get on the radio. It's harder for Vibe to get on the radio. It's harder for everybody because of that Telecommunications Act that was signed in 1996, and I never really knew that. I mean, I knew it changed. Radio One, I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
it changed, but that was the actual some actual legislation. But yeah, because it was a time where rough it
Yeah.
all.
I
you know.
remember y'all run, and just taking it back. I remember a house party. It was one of my buddy Rob Warren. He had a basement party, and the basement party was dry. Next thing you know, his mom had came back from PA Palace, and she came in. She had y'all CD, and she had the backyard joint. And I remember we played that Hucklebuck CD. It turned the basement into a real party. You know what I'm saying? It turned the basement into the real party. But I remember right after that, we got to see y'all at Wild World.
Yeah.
Man, that right there, when I tell you by the time that show was over with, our school, I went to Roosevelt, like 20 bands popped up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was
Right.
trying to get to a corner to figure out how to be a band, you know. And
Yeah.
that was a great time. It was like, but I just remember, you know, like you said, writing, we got our little good luck road
Yeah.
towel up in the air, Britney Blaze,
Wow.
whatever it was back then, you know what I'm saying? But
Wow.
that was a historic time that it shifted because we all was, you know, we J.A.B,
Yeah.
we Northeast Groovers, we back and red.
God.
We love all that. But you see
Yeah.
these guys that they our age,
Right.
they close to
Right.
our age, man. Like that changed the trajectory and it shifted a lot of. Like I said, I remember, like I said, at least 20 bands kicked off after that, and it was some dudes that you didn't know that this person, you know what I'm saying, could sing, or this person could
Yeah.
rap, or this person played drums. Like it was a lot of talent that started showing themselves because of that Wild World. I remember that like it was yesterday, because that, like I said, once that Wild World clicked, that next week when everybody was back in school, everybody was trying to go to some type of, we got band practice. We about to start doing this band thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was like, from what I remember, it was like honor roll students from PG County. But then my cousin be like, "Nah, I was there from the rec." So
Yeah.
it was a way. It wasn't just buy tickets. It was like some type of thing. And I think we had two shows. I kind of remember that day because in the moment
Yeah.
you don't look at it like that. We
Yeah.
just we got a show in the little OK Corral over here. And I remember doing one set, and it was like an amphitheater, so to
Yep.
speak.
Yep.
Kind of like bleachers. And then the other kids was outside ready to come in. And they came in, we did a set. So
Yeah.
man, that's a beautiful thing because like you one of the people, my cousins, a few people that always bring that up, and they'd be like, "Wow, that's cool." And now I didn't know that, but the fact that it was inspiration, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for, guys. I just feel like I'm here to inspire, right?
Yeah.
The root to everything I do, I'm here to inspire, someone else, whether it be the youth. Of course, we want to do that because if it wasn't for these guys inspiring me and putting that battery in my back, I wouldn't be we wouldn't be sitting right here. So that's just how I try to pay it forward. And I'm looking forward to doing more with the youth, like intentionally, directly. I definitely want to get with y'all on some production, like you're saying.
Definitely.
It's
Definitely.
time. I think it's time. All eyes on DC, all eyes on Go. I
Yeah.
think a good time, a good space right now. We got a lot of talent. I think we finally understanding the assignment. I think a lot of people are starting to understand the assignment. And so I'm trying to work with anybody that's, aligned in that frame of mind. Shout out to Gino Meyer in the building.
What's up, Gino?
Yeah. So, but yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate you, Doc. A lot of good insight, wisdom, NPR, right? Yeah. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I mean, so all eyes on us for more reasons than one. But I just think with the things going on with the industry, it's just looking crazy. People not trusting that.
Yeah.
The trap sound, no disrespect, but a lot of the sound is getting old and repetitive. With AI, right?
Yeah.
All these AI artists, like you're not gonna know what's real. So the only thing you know is real is when you come see Black Passion, when you come see
Yeah.
Backyard, right? We are becoming an anomaly. We're becoming a treasure, right? It's
Yeah.
gonna be anybody with a band that's gonna be special because it's like I know this is real, right? So I think just history repeats itself in sound and all that. I just think it's time for us get back to it.
Testing
Yeah.
1, 2, 2.
Charlie Fenwick. No, real talk though. But I think.
But what you're saying right there is key because with that, it's still not too late, guys, gals, bands, everybody. legacy. Legacy. I know we've been back into a cover corner, but it's still time. You can do that nonsense and you can still put something together. It may not take off here at all.
Right.
It may take off on the west side. It may take off down south. But guess what? Once it takes off, everybody that I don't like that laughed at it or
Yeah.
that joint slum, they're gonna have to come see you because guess what? Once it comes back here, but that's where I'm talking about legacy.
Yeah.
Legacy. Like, come on, y'all. Like we are way better than what we are allowing to be our our story. We're gonna change the narrative. Like I said, if Nas could come out at 50 and put out King's Disease 1, 2, and 3, and I'm
Crush.
talking about I still play those CDs right now like it's 90 early 90s, and that stuff came out in 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's classic.
We can do it. We can do it.
Instant bitches. Yeah, that's what we are. Not only down south, you said it could pop off. Then it could pop off in Japan. It could pop off in South Africa.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't know. Like I say, Black Alley is they all over the place overseas.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just don't come and brag about because they doing the work. It ain't about like, hey. But I watched Pooh and Animal on Serious Vibe. Man, they everywhere, and I got a clip on my TikTok where they was in like Lebanon or something. But you talking about countries that not just the regular Jones, back them been to Africa recently, Ghana or whatever. We know Donnell and them. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But Black Alley is consistently getting out super outside the country, and that's important. But we all could be that, and like you said, we can't worry about if they accept it here. Just be creative. You got to be yourself. You got to find your way. You got to find what works for you, and and put it out there to the world and see what stick.
And that's why I was glad Wiley, my manager, he forced me to come out last night. He was like, "Man, come on, man." And so going out to that, panel discussion. Granted, I wasn't on the panel. I was just a fly on the wall. What you just said, a representative from Future Band was there.
They be out there too. Yeah.
Well, one of the percussionists used to be our engineer, a dude named Wes. But he's been playing with them. But the guy was touching base on how they are an international band that plays go-go.
Yeah.
And a lot of their funding is from DC grants and Maryland grants. People aren't paying attention. Everybody's still worrying about, man, I gotta out crank such and such. Nah, get from around here, man.
Right.
Do something else. Like you can still do this here, but it's other things to be done. Exactly. And if you're not, you're gonna be that same bitter 60-year-old dude. Man, I used to tear such and such up, then who cares? Right. Because guess what? The people that said, all right, enough is enough. This last 15 years, I got to do something that's going to bring me a digital check that I don't even have to go to a mailbox. I just look at my bank account. Okay, yeah, that just cleared. Okay, yeah, all right. That's what we need to be talking about. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like I said, 15, 20 years from now, what do you want to be doing? I want to be in Hawaii permanently. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And looking back, like, okay, well, I gotta fly to LA and to Miami to do these shows, and then I'm back at home in Hawaii.
Right.
And
we buy
I'm collecting these checks from that song that I put out in 2026.
Residuals.
That album that came out in 2027. Like, we can do it. It's just about everybody just gotta really, really. What are you here for? What's your reason?
Right.
And if your reason is just I want to do it, I want to have fun, that's cool too. But be honest with your peers. Be honest with the people that are following you.
Absolutely.
Yourself.
Be honest with yourself. You just want to come out to the club and get your little attention, get away from your wife, or go meet a couple little joints and have your drink, and that's all you for, and play with 10 bands. Yeah. But that's fine. Everybody has different motivation or motives, but if you feel like it's something bigger for you, sit and think about it. Sit
Yeah,
and write it down, man. Sit and write, okay, this is what I want, the 10 things I want, the 10 things I don't want. Right? Pros and cons. Like sit and really figure it out. And then how do I get there? Like what steps could I take? And then research it, learn it, and talk to people. But it's all type of information that's out there. So instead of watching fight videos, go research marketing and different things. We living in a great time, guys. That's what I'm saying. I think our time is coming to be
yeah.
recognized because we got some of the best musicians in the world.
Nah, trust me. Like I said, shout out to my man Ghost. You know Ghost.
Yeah.
Um, I'm about to utilize those resources. There's so many people that I haven't utilized those resources. One being pride, like man, I don't want to be begging somebody but F
Yep.
all that.
That's
Because
one
guess
of our
what?
biggest problems of
Yeah,
DC.
it's 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 now or never to me where it's like, do you really want to be, damn, I gotta get up and go do this show, get up and drive over here to this show, or do I want to be able to say, I think I want to do 2 shows this month
Right,
because it's enough money being made on the back end on some stuff that nobody even paying attention to or understood the game,
right.
We getting old, man. And like I said, I ain't discrediting nobody that's out here getting it, because if that's what you want to do, get out
Yeah,
here and do it. But for the people that, like I said, there's a lot of people that follow and watch me. I'm gonna tell a lot of people the truth. A lot of what you watched and seen has been a dice roll. But now
mhm,
it's no more dice roll. It's, I'm really sharp. I'm really up on the speed of the business and what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to utilize every resource that I have come across, every resource that I have had next to me that I haven't used, because I'm trying to tell you, 2026,
it's
the
time.
same way, like I said, the same way we just witnessed the miracle of arguably one of the best drummers in this area being slighted and then getting a Grammy. That's
Yes,
my new motivation of, watch what the hell is about to happen with the band and the guy that people are counting out or feeling, oh, he ain't got this one. Guess what? Always got them. That's family. Everybody that's ever come through this. But guess what the hell is about to happen right now? Something that you never thought was going to be able to happen. And it's because,
mindset,
yeah,
right? Focus,
yeah,
intentionality,
yeah,
right? And he was saying to get it's not. Don't look at it as like, man, I gotta you don't want to put yourself in the situation like you said. I gotta go up here Friday and do this, Joan, and that. You want to put yourself when you wake up and say, man, I get to go and do this.
yeah,
I can do
yeah,
2 shows this month that's I'm excited about,
yeah,
And
yeah,
so that's all, man. Just being intentional mindset, studying the game, looking at the climate and the the time we in. And we hear y'all. Look at these podcasts. Shout out to Serious Vibes. Shout out to Jose and the Heartbeat Congo Hour and everybody that's doing it, man. And getting these interviews and talking to great minds, the culture, man. It's very important that we do this and keep making music. Make as much music as you can. Like, don't be shy. Be
yeah,
yourself too,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Be yourself, be creative. Don't be a copycat. We all started from somewhere. We all pull, but it's enough space and everybody could just kind of do what they do. Every band can have their own style. That's important for bands too, right? To have that
yeah,
identity
yeah.
definition. So all that, y'all, man. Appreciate you, Sharonda. Definitely been tapping in. Gino, um, Bud, Ty, everybody, y'all. Instagram. I neglected Instagram. Shout out to Universal Sports Talk 93, Sex God 63.3, all that. Wade's Hope. I got to get out of here. My man Poochie. Uh Cheef and Go, y'all. Black Passion. The Black Passion experience. Y'all better bet on black. And y'all gotta check them out. I'm gonna come out and see y'all real soon because it's been a minute
Definitely,
for
man.
me. And
Definitely.
like I said, I would definitely love to get in the studio. I've been talking, I've been talking to a lot of people. Pep, like we got a lot of ideas and stuff in these back rooms. Ali, you know, Ali, Ali
Yeah,
the Great.
yeah,
That's my cousin.
yeah.
Writing some great music. But I've been talking to Major League. You know, it's just that's what I'm saying. I've never been in contact, you know, with this many people. Like really, just like we kind of like I feel like we all on that frequency. So it's a beautiful thing. And you already know I would love to get with y'all. So let's just, you know, let's see how it works. And we'll talk, man. And
No, we definitely do something,
yeah,
man. It's nothing holding us back now, man.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. All right, yep. Shout out DJ Money, Gino. Until the next time, guys. Hey, that new T.I. don't go. That Pharrell did. I heard it today.
yeah,
Yeah. All
yeah,
right.
yeah,
I forget the name of it. I just heard it today.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
Black guy about to say, all right, Black Passion. All right, Doc.
All
Yeah,
right,
but
man.
that's the same thing, right? That Doc is Black Passion. Bet on Black.
Yes,
Until the
sir.
next time, appreciate you, brother. And we'll talk soon. And peace.
Thanks for having me, man. Greatly appreciate you bringing me on your platform, man. Greatly
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Salute, man. Salute. Peace and crank.
Yes, sir.
Cheef and Go.